Hello, Jack. How are you?
Good.
Good. Thank you for coming today to do a lesson, okay? So we're going to look at this and we're going to talk about what we're going to learn about, okay?
Okay.
All right. So today we're going to talk about subtracting multi-digit numbers with borrowing or regrouping. So what are multi-digit numbers?
They have multiple digits.
Very good. Do you know what borrowing is?
It's when you have to borrow a 10 from another number.
Very good. So we borrow maybe a 10 or 100 or any of those. Good. Why do we have to use regrouping? Do you know why we have to use it? No? Well, that's what we'll talk about. We'll figure out why. And I'm going to give you a tool that's going to help you organize all your numbers. Okay? So today we're going to go over the steps of subtracting big numbers. Then we're going to practice it together. And then you're going to show me how awesome you are at doing it and do some by yourself, okay? All right, so first we're going to watch this video. All right, so I'm going to turn the lights off so you can see it, okay? Will you press play for me? Oh, no.
Let's try to subtract 659 from 971. And as soon as you start trying to do it, you face a problem. You go to the ones place and you say, how am I going to subtract a 9 from a 1? And the answer lies in regrouping, taking value from one of the other places here and giving it to the ones place. And to understand that a little bit better, let me rewrite these two numbers. Let me expand it out. So this 9 is in the hundreds place, so it represents 900. The 7 is in the tens place, so it represents 7 tens. And then this 1 is in the ones place, so it just represents 1. And then down here, this 6 represents 600. 600. This 5 represents 5 tens, or 50. And then this 9, well, still just represents 9 ones, or 9. And we're subtracting this. We're subtracting 600 plus 50 plus 9. Or another way of thinking about it, we're subtracting 600, we're subtracting 50, we are subtracting 9. So let's work it out over here. So this is the exact same problem, just written a little bit differently. And we still have the same issue. How do we subtract a larger number from a smaller number? And the solution lies in trying to take value from one of the other places. And the easiest place to go is, look, we've got 70 here. Why don't we take 10 from here, and we'll be left with 60, and give that 10 to the ones place. So if you add 10 to 1, what do we have? Well, then we're going to have 11.
11.
Notice, I have not changed the value of the number. 971 is the same thing as 900 plus 60 plus 11. It's still 971. And now we can actually subtract. 11 minus 9. 11 minus 9 is 2.
Very good.
60 minus 50 is 10.
10.
And 900 minus
You're faster
600
than him.
is
300. Look at you. You're like,
Is
I'm so
300.
much faster than
So
you.
this subtraction should result in 300 plus 10 plus 2, which is 312. Now let's do the exact same thing here, but we're going to do it without expanding it out. So same issue. How do we subtract a 9 from a 1? Well, let's take a 10 from the tens place. We're going to regroup. So we're going to get rid of 1.
Okay, so if he's going to regroup, we have to go next door and borrow.
And borrow a 10 from the 7 and the 1, 11, so we can subtract it from that.
Very good.
One of these tens, so we're only going to have 6 tens left in the tens place. And we're going to give that 10 to the ones place. So 10 plus 1 is 11. Now we are ready to subtract. 11 minus 9 is 2. 6 minus 5 is 1.
Very good.
9 minus 6 is 3.
Very
We get,
good.
do that same color, we get 312.
Awesome. Okay, so that's what we're going to practice because we know how to do that, but sometimes our numbers get a little jumbled when we're doing it. So I'm going to give you something to help you with that. And we're done with that. All right, so we're going to do a couple practice problems first. All right, so we have these, and they look just like that one did over there. and they're color coded. So what place are these numbers?
The ones,
Ones.
tens,
Good.
hundreds.
Good. And so all the boxes line up so that we can keep all of our math organized. So let's see if we can solve this one. Good. That one's right. Good. Now that one was addition. I just wanted to make sure that we still had that mastered really well. Okay. So now let's look at these subtraction ones. Now remember, when we do subtraction, we always start from right here. Now this tool is the same as this thing right here. So you have ones, tens, hundreds, and thousands when we get there. But right now we're just going to focus on these three. Okay. Now let's practice these three right here. Which one do you want to do first? That one right there. Okay. Do you want to use this, or do you just want to do it on this?
I can use that.
You want to use this? Okay. Which color do you want?
Red.
You want red. Okay. So build your numbers in there. And this way we can keep them organized, because sometimes we aren't sure where we put that other number, right? So last time we were together, we kept not knowing where we put that number, so we're going to use this. All right, so what do we do first? Tell me the first thing you do.
So what you do first is you can't subtract 2 from 8, so you would borrow from this 2 and make that a 12.
Good. It's a little baby box, isn't it? Good. Now, make sure that when we do this, we've got to change this number because we borrowed a 10 from it, so now that becomes a 1. Good. All right. Now, do we start? What do we do next? Tell me what you would do next.
You would subtract 12 from 8, which is 4.
All right, so we're going to take 8 from 12. Good. All right, and now what do we do next?
You can't take 1 from 7, so you would go to the 2 and borrow a 10, which would make the 2 a 1 and make the 1 an 11.
Good. And now remember, these are hundreds, so we're borrowing 100. But no, you're right. Your numbers are right. I just want to make sure you know that that's 100. So now this is 11, but really it's 110. I know. But you're right. So let's do that. Take 7 from 11. 4. Okay.
And you would do 1 minus 1, which is 0, which will give you 44.
Good. Now you put a 0 here, and that's good, but you don't have to. Okay? Because this number is 10. Now, what if there was a 1 right here? Would we have to put a 0 there? Yes, we would. Very good. Okay. Erase. Let's see if it'll erase. Good. All right. Let's try this one. These are going to progressively get harder. Okay. Which color do you want? You want the same color? Yeah? Okay. We're sticking with red. Good deal. Okay. We're going to do this problem.
We already did.
We already did.
Yes.
Is that the one we just did?
Yes.
Oh, then let's do this problem. See, this is why you're here. You help me stay on task. I thought we did that one. Good. Now tell me what numbers you're writing in there.
154 and
Is that a 4?
3.
That's a 3. That's what I was thinking. Hey, I like the number 4 though. That's a good number. All right, 153. And we're taking away
147.
Very good. Okay. So, tell me what we have to do.
First, you can't do 3 on 7, so you would take a 10 from the 5 and make that 3 become a 13.
Good. Now what happened to
And
this
make
number?
the 5 a 4.
Good.
And then you would do 13 minus 7, which is 6.
Good.
Then you would do 4 minus 4, which is 0. And you don't have to put the 0, and 1 minus 1 will make 0. So your answer would be 6.
Awesome. That is awesome. Okay, so those you've got. Let's see if I can give you some that are a little more difficult. Okay, I'm going to give you a clean one, so that way we're not having to keep erasing it. Okay, so this time you're going to do this one without me helping. Okay, and then you're going to tell us what you did. So let's do that one right there.
So first I'm going to write 344, then 155.
Good.
Then what I am going to do is, you can't subtract 4 from 5, so you would take a 10 from the 4 and make the 4 in the 1's place, and make the 4 a 14, and make the 4 in the 10's place a 3, and then you would do 14 minus 5,
Which is what strategies can we use to do that? 14 minus 5.
You could plus
You can.
and see how many fingers you're holding up.
Okay.
So let's do 5, 10, 11, 12. Wait, 5.
5. I like that kind of counting.
7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, which would be 9.
Good. So you counted on from your 5.
And
Good.
you can't do 3 minus 5. So you would take a 100 from the 3 and make the 3 13 and 5 plus
You want to do it
8
again?
would equal
Very good. You didn't even have to count on that
13.
one. That's good because you know those facts. Now, what is this now? Because it was a 2. It was a 3.
3 a 2, and you would do 2 minus 1, which is 1, and you would get the answer of 189.
Perfect job. Look at that. I think you got that down. Here's what we're going to do. I am going to give you some of these to do, but I'm going to give you one more like this, and then I'm going to give you one with 1,000s. So 4 digits. We're going to see how awesome you are at that. I'm going to give you another new one of these. They just keep coming up. Okay. Now this one's a 3-digit and a 2-digit number. So we've got to watch how we do this one, okay? Because I think you got this down.
154 and then 76. And you can't take 4 from 6. So you would borrow from the 5 in the 10's place and make the 4 14. And 14 plus 6 would 6 plus
We're going to count on. So we hold the 6 in our hand.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
That's how many?
8, 9.
Count it again.
6, 7,
You can go if
8,
you need
9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
So it's 8. Good. So put that 8 there, and I'm going to give you one more after we finish this one because I'm going to challenge you. So this was, now we got to remember, when we take away from this one, we got to put that new number up there. Otherwise,
And you would put 4.
good.
But you can't take 4 away from 7, so you would borrow from the 1 in the hundreds place, make the 1 a 0, and make the 4 a 14, and 14 minus 7 is 7, so your answer would be 78.
Because what happened to our hundreds?
You took a 1 from it, and since you took the 1 from the hundreds, since there was a 1, and you took that 1 away, it would make 0, and you wouldn't put a 0.
Okay, very good. Okay, so I think that you've got this 3-digit subtraction down. So let's see how you do with 4 digits. Okay? Because that's what we were going to do next time, but you are doing an amazing job. All right. So do this problem right here.
So first I would put a 3 in the thousands, then do a 2 in the hundreds, and do a 4 in the tens, and a 5 in the ones, and I would do a 1 in the thousands, and a 4 in the hundreds, an 8 in the tens, and a 9 in the ones.
Good.
And you can't do 5 minus 9, so you would borrow from the 4, make the 4 a 3, make that a 15, and 15 minus 9 is 4.
Let's count them. So put 9 in your hand. 9.
9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16.
So it's
6.
6. Very good. I know where you got the 4 from. Because the 5 and the 9 makes 4. So, but yeah, very good. That is 6. All right. So what do we have now?
Then you would do, you can't do 3 minus 8, so you would borrow from the 2 and make that a 1, and make the 3 13, and 13 minus 8 would be 5.
Very good. I think you wanted to say that the whole time. I could see it. You're like, very good.
And you can't take 1 from 4, so you would borrow from the 3 in the thousandths place and make the 3 a 2, and make the 1 an 11, and 11 minus 4 is 7, and 2 minus 1 is 1. So your answer would be 1,756.
Don't forget your comma.
And with the comma.
And with the comma. Good. Well, good. Look at that. Very good. Now remember, when we're subtracting, we're doing, it's not 4 take away 8. Well, it's not 8. How do I rephrase this? It's not, how did you say that? Say that to me again. Because when you say you can't take
5 away from 9.
Right. It's you can't take 9 away from 5. It's upside down. Because this is how much you have, and this is how much you're taking away. So if you had 10 cookies, and I wanted 11 cookies, I cannot take 11 cookies away from you, because you only have 10. Right?
Then I would have to borrow from someone.
You have to borrow from Miss Williams over here. Tell her you need some cookies. Good. Okay, so I do have some problems I'm going to have you work when we're done, just to make sure we've got every aspect of that learned. And I think you did awesome. But here's what I want to do. So we're going to meet again, and we were going to do 4-digit subtraction, but you have mastered that. So I want to see, do you know what we do after addition and subtraction?
Multiplying.
Multiplying. Very good. So I'm going to give you one problem, okay? And I want to see how you do. Are you excited? You look excited.
Mm-hmm.
All right, it's not a big problem. We're going to do 35 times, ready? 7.
So, first what you would do is 5 times 7 is 35. And you would put the 3 above the 3. And then you would do 7 times 3, which is 21. And you would add 3, which would be 24. And you would put it right here. And your answer is 245.
Very good. Now, what if I did this? What if I made it 35 times 17? Would any of this change?
No.
No?
It wouldn't, but you would mark that out and then mark that out. And then you would do 1 times 5, which is, but first, before you do that, you would add a 0. And then you would do 1 times 5, which is 5. And 1 times 3, which would be 3. And then you would get 350. And then you would add 245 plus 350, or you could do 350 plus 245.
Mm-hmm.
So 5 plus 0 would be 5, and then 4 plus 5 would be 9, and then 2 plus 3 is 5, and your answer to 35 times 17 would be 595.
Well, good job. Look at you. So maybe our next lesson won't be multiplication. Maybe we'll look at division. All right, good job. Thank you. And I'm going to give you these problems to do, okay? And then you are free to go. All right. Thank you very much.